What happens when an undercover boss meets a terminally ill employee? What happens when power meets pain? When success meets suffering? And when a simple gesture changes everything? This is a story of humanity, of hidden struggles, and of a kindness so profound it leaves you speechless. The story begins with a man named Lucas Bennett. Lucas was the CEO of a thriving retail company called BrightMart, a chain of stores known for its affordable prices and excellent customer service. Lucas was a man who had it all: wealth, power, and respect. But beneath his polished exterior, there was a void. He had climbed the ladder of success so fast that he had forgotten what it felt like to truly connect with people. His days were filled with board meetings, profit margins, and endless emails. He had become a stranger to the very people who made his company successful, the employees. One day, Lucas decided to do something he had never done before. He decided to go undercover in one of his stores. He wanted to see the world through the eyes of his employees, to understand their struggles, and to reconnect with the heartbeat of his company. He chose a store in a small town called Cedar Ridge, a place he had never visited before. He disguised himself as a new employee, wearing a simple uniform and a name tag that read Luke. No one knew who he really was. On his first day, Lucas was assigned to work in the stockroom. It was a humbling experience. He had forgotten how physically demanding the job could be, lifting heavy boxes, organizing shelves, and working long hours on his feet. But what struck him the most was the people he worked with. They were kind, hardworking, and full of stories. One person, in particular, caught his attention. Her name was Clara Mitchell. Clara was in her late 30s, with warm brown eyes and a smile that could light up a room. She had been working at BrightMart for over 10 years. She was known for her dedication and her ability to make everyone around her feel valued. But there was something about Clara that Lucas couldn't quite put his finger on. She seemed tired, not the kind of tired that comes from a long day at work, but a deeper, more profound exhaustion. One afternoon, during their lunch break, Lucas sat down with Clara in the employee lounge. He noticed she was eating a simple sandwich and sipping water from a reusable bottle. He decided to strike up a conversation. "So, Clara, how long have you been working here?" he asked, trying to sound casual. Clara smiled. "Oh, about 10 years now. Time flies when you're having fun, right?" she said with a soft laugh. Lucas chuckled. "Yeah, I guess so. Do you like working here?" Clara paused for a moment, her smile fading slightly. "It's a good job. The people are nice, and it pays the bills. But life has a way of throwing curveballs, you know?" Lucas nodded, sensing there was more to her story. "Yeah, I get that. Anything you want to talk about?" Clara hesitated, then sighed. "Well, I was diagnosed with cancer a few months ago. Stage 4. The doctors say I don't have much time left." Lucas felt his heart sink. He didn't know what to say. He had expected to hear about workplace struggles or financial difficulties, but this was something else entirely. "I'm so sorry, Clara," he said softly. "That must be incredibly hard." Clara nodded, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "It is, but I'm trying to stay positive. I have a daughter, Emily. She's only 12. I want to make sure she's taken care of after I'm gone." Lucas was speechless. Here was a woman facing the hardest battle of her life, yet she was still thinking about others. He felt a lump in his throat. He wanted to help her, but he didn't know how. Not yet. Over the next few days, Lucas observed Clara closely. He noticed how she always went the extra mile for customers, how she encouraged her coworkers, and how she never complained, even when she was clearly in pain. She was the heart and soul of the store, and yet she was carrying a burden no one should ever bear alone. One evening, after the store had closed, Lucas stayed behind to help Clara with some inventory. As they worked, he decided to open up to her. "Clara, I need to tell you something," he said, his voice trembling slightly. Clara looked at him, curious. "What is it, Luke?" Lucas took a deep breath. "I'm not who you think I am. My real name is Lucas Bennett. I'm the CEO of BrightMart. I came here undercover to see how things really are for our employees." Clara's eyes widened in shock. For a moment, she was silent. Then, to Lucas's surprise, she laughed. It wasn't a bitter laugh, but a genuine, heartfelt one. Well, I'll be damned, she said, shaking her head. I never would have guessed. You're pretty good at this undercover thing. Lucas smiled, relieved by her reaction. Thank you, but that's not why I told you. I told you because I want to help you. Clara, you've inspired me in ways I can't even explain. You're one of the strongest people I've ever met, and I want to make sure you and Emily are taken care of. Clara's eyes filled with tears. Lucas, I don't know what to say. This means so much to me. Lucas reached out and took her hand. You don't have to say anything. Just know that you're not alone. We're going to get through this together. The next day, Lucas called a meeting with the store's management team. He revealed his true identity and announced that he would be implementing new policies to support employees facing serious illnesses. He also set up a fund to cover Clara's medical expenses and ensure Emily's future was secure. But Lucas didn't stop there. He spent the next few weeks working alongside Clara, learning from her, and sharing her story with the rest of the company. He realized that success wasn't just about profits. It was about people. It was about compassion, empathy, and making a difference in the lives of others. Clara's health continued to decline, but her spirit remained unbroken. She was surrounded by love and support, not just from Lucas, but from her coworkers, her friends, and her family. She knew she had made a lasting impact, not just on Lucas, but on everyone who had the privilege of knowing her. In her final days, Clara wrote a letter to Lucas. In it, she thanked him for his kindness and for giving her peace of mind. She wrote, "Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. You gave me one of those moments. Lucas, thank you." When Lucas read the letter, he broke down in tears. He realized that Clara had taught him the most important lesson of all. That true success is not about what you achieve, but about the lives you touch along the way. The story of Lucas and Clara spread throughout the company, inspiring others to be kinder, more compassionate, and more aware of the struggles of those around them. BrightMart became more than just a retail chain. It became a family. And so, the undercover boss who set out to understand his employees ended up learning the true meaning of leadership. It wasn't about power or prestige. It was about love, empathy, and the courage to make a difference. The moral of the story? No matter how high you climb, never forget the people who helped you get there. And never underestimate the power of a simple gesture. It can change someone's life forever. Before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to thank you for joining us on this emotional journey. Stories like these remind us of the power of kindness, courage, and standing up for what's right. If this story touched your heart, made you think, or inspired you in any way, let us know in the comments below. Tell us where you're watching from. And don't forget to share this story with others. Sometimes, a simple act of sharing can make a huge impact. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join our community. We've got more heartfelt stories coming your way. Until next time, remember, kindness changes lives. See you soon.